Welcome, Initiate. The sanctioned history of the Imperium is a story everyone stopped questioning, especially the alliance between Terra and Mars. The Adeptus Mechanicus worship the Omnissiah, the machine god. The Imperial cult tells you this is just another name for the god emperor of mankind. Two faiths, one divine being. It's a clean narrative that keeps the forges working and the fleets armed. But the heart of the Martian faith is not a god. It's a cage. This transmission isn't a debate. We are unsealing a file on a deception that predates the Imperium itself. A file that proves the tidy answer is a lie, designed to obscure a far more terrifying one. We are descending through the layers. We need to understand the deal that birthed that union, the Treaty of Olympus. That's when the Emperor came to Mars before his great crusade. Not to conquer it, he was giving a proposal. He needed the forges of the Mechanicus, who had survived Old Night through their worship of the machine god. They made a pact where Mars would join the Imperium, and the Adeptus Mechanicus would keep their faith and their traditions. This is a first crack in the official story, because the Emperor himself, champion of the imperial truth that denied all gods, made an exception for Mars. The public story told that he allowed them the political fiction that he was their Omnissiah, but the evidence points to something far more deliberate. He needed them to keep their religion, because that religion was already serving a purpose he could not afford to disturb. That purpose is buried one layer deeper, and we are going to investigate it. Deep beneath the red sands of Mars lies the Noctis Labyrinthus, the labyrinth of night. Records and old parchments describe it as a dangerously irradiated scar, but that is only a cover-up. The danger is real, just that it isn't radiation, but a presence. For millennia, Martian priests spoke of a dragon of Mars, a metallic beast of immense power sleeping under the sand. The classified record identifies this entity as a shard of Magladroth, the Void Dragon, most ferocious of the ancient Catan. The Imperium will not confirm it, and neither the Mechanicus, but according to the fragmented histories, the Emperor confronted a being of this exact nature on ancient Terra. He couldn't destroy it, so he broke it and imprisoned the still conscious entity on Mars, engineering a cage of unimaginable complexity around it. The Noctis Labyrinthus wasn't a natural formation, it was a prison. Which raises a terrifying question, because what happens when you imprison a being of near-divine technology on a planet of burgeoning technologists? A religion is born. The evidence suggests the cult Mechanicus was seeded. Strange energies, faint psychic echoes from the Void Dragon's mind, bled from its prison. This resonance warped the perception of the early Martians and began to sense a consciousness in their machines, a machine spirit. They began to believe all knowledge was a divine gift from a single great being, and they were right. The source of their inspiration was the vast alien intellect of the Catan, dreaming in its cage. When the Emperor arrived, he saw what was happening. He recognized the psychic signature of the prison he had built. Easily, he could have told them the truth that their faith was a psychic echo of a prisoner. But he didn't. He did something more pragmatic and co-opted their faith. I have to be clear. Reading this section of the dossier, the sheer, cold calculus of his decision is staggering. He allowed them to believe he was the Omnissiah they were waiting for, and in doing so, he transformed the Adeptus Mechanicus into the unwitting jailers of their own god. Every prayer, every ritual of maintenance, it wasn't just superstition, a psychic and technological system of containment unknowingly performed by trillions of priests for 10,000 years, all reinforcing the locks on the Void Dragon's cage. For 10,000 years, the system worked. The dragon slept, and its jailers sang its praises, believing they were worshipping the Emperor, but nothing lasts forever. The classified record contains a critical incident during the 13th Black Crusade. While the Imperium's eyes were on Cadia, a Necron vessel appeared in the Sol system, bypassing outer defenses and ignoring Terra, made a direct course for Mars. It didn't fire a single shot. It just deliberately breached the Noctis Labyrinthus. This was deliberate. This was a probe. The Necrons, who long ago overthrew their Catan masters, knew exactly where the dragon was. They wanted to see what 10,000 years of continuous, focused worship had done to the prisoner, and then left. The records say it clearly. The Necrons, who fear almost nothing in this galaxy, who have watched stars die and gods fall, looked into the heart of the Emperor's prison and withdrew, with not a single engagement or explanation. Their retreat tells us something critical. Whatever they found inside was not something they were ready to confront, at least not yet. That decision is the most unsettling detail in this entire file, because the Necrons do not retreat out of caution. They retreat when they need more time to prepare. Dear Initiate, when you hold it all together, the sanctioned history is impossible. The Emperor is not the Omnissiah. The Omnissiah is a cosmic horror chained beneath Mars, and the faith of the Adeptus Mechanicus is the chain. This leaves us with two possibilities. Both are a kind of hell. The first is the hell of pragmatism. The Emperor is a warden playing a long game, creating a self-sustaining prison for a galaxy-ending monster, and the price was the soul of an entire culture. The Mechanicus was sacrificed on the altar of necessity, their devotion twisted into a lock. In this version, the Emperor is a ruthless protector. But there is a second possibility, one that is far worse. Faith has power in this galaxy, so what happens when you funnel the industrial-scale worship of the most technologically advanced human cult in the galaxy directly into a god of technology? What if this wasn't just a prison, and maybe, just maybe, some sort of crucible? What if the Emperor's great work was never just to contain the Void Dragon, but to change it? To use 10 millennia of fervent worship to forge the broken Catan shard into something new, a true Omnissiah god, a weapon of pure technology, loyal to the Imperium, ready to be unleashed in humanity's darkest hour. The file doesn't give an answer, so I ask you, Initiate, which is more terrifying? The lie that you are worshipping a man who is not your god? Or the truth that you have been feeding a monster, shaping it into something new and terrible, exactly as the Emperor planned? Submit your assessment in the channels below because this question remains open. The report on the Omnissiah is closed. But the network doesn't stop broadcasting. The next report is already waiting, Initiate, and what it contains is something the Administratum has been trying to bury for 10,000 years. If you are not yet a registered Initiate, the subscribe button is right there. The Council is watching who clicks it. Illuminati Broadcast Network, out.